Why is it that the majority of indie game devs never really finish their games? Well, Dave Gilbert and I talked all about this. By the way, he's the creator of Unavowed, the Blackwell series, and his latest game, which has taken 5 years, Old Skies. The main reason might surprise you. It has nothing to do with the technical hurdles or coming up with a viral game idea. It's actually something much, much deeper. It's actually related to fear of public humiliation. And if you watch the end of this video, my hope is that you have the tools necessary to finish a game just like Dave has. Oh, and really quickly, by the way, this video is sponsored by myself. I sponsor my own videos sometimes. It's sponsored by Full Time Game Dev. If making indie games full-time is a dream of yours in 2025, I can teach you what I've done. I've signed 3 publishing deals for my commercial indie games, along with getting funded multiple times on Kickstarter. I've also hit the Steam front page multiple times, so I want to show you how I've done this and ultimately make games in Unity, Godot, Unreal, 2D or 3D. You can honestly take your pick in the course. You also learn how to market your game so it brings in actual money and so much more. For the next 7 days, Full Time Game Dev is 40% off for the massive spring sale. And this only happens once a year. This is a big one. Join 4,500 students worldwide, and I'll also throw in my 2D and 3D art programs completely free, but only for this sale event. And also there's only 100 seats available. These will sell out, so be sure to check it out below if you're interested. Portal, and you have to do it all over again.
People are gonna play it, and regardless of all the time and effort and emotional angst I put into it, people are still going to tell me it sucks.
Yep.
There are people who are still going to hate it. I released a demo last week and I've gotten some comments. They're like, I don't like the interface. I don't like this. Like the character walks too slow. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, and that, I was unprepared. I'm like, I forgot what it was like. You could get 100 glowing comments that praise your stuff to the high hills, but it's that one negative comment that'll stick in your brain all day and make you hate yourself. And and I guess oh wow, I forgot what that was like. All right, welcome back.
So you released the demo last week. What day did you release? Was it Wednesday or
Wednesday? Yeah,
that's when I launched my game my demo. Yes, and so Twisted Tower has been in development for 3 years, and I just want to reflect how you're feeling because, I'm 3 years in the hole. It's a hole right now in the sense that it's I haven't made any money off this thing. I've only spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. My publisher, they've spent money on it. We've had 5 or 6 different people working on this thing, and all it is a hole right now. There's no profit. That's what it feels like. There's no profit. There's nothing. And so when you launch the demo, it's like this moment of, this actually really matters, because if they don't like the demo, why would they want to play the rest of the game? And it's terrifying. And so when I launched it last week, we had a lot of people like it, and this was the first 2 hours, but then we had a ton of people pissed off because the controls were messed up. And we did 2 months of QA, and it's about a month to 2 months. I can't really remember. It might have been 6 weeks. Anyway, we did all this QA. This problem about the controls never came up once. And then we launch it, and it's all I see. And it's how did I miss this?
There was something we did in the Old Skies demo. The very first puzzle, which is barely even a puzzle.
That's what you think, right?
Because it's there's this locked. You land in the 1870s, and you're in this alleyway with a locked fence, and you're with this woman who's this brawny boxer type. The door is locked, and it's locked from the outside. You're inside the alley, and so you talk to her. You're like, could you boost me over? She's like, I got a better idea. She just kicks the door open. And it's a parallel to an earlier puzzle in the game where you need to get boosted over and unlock it from the outside. And so there's a character, there's your handler, in the future who you can talk to, and he's basically a hint system. And if you ask him I'm stuck in this alley, and he says, oh, didn't you have this weren't you in the situation before? What did you do then? But the demo starts at this point, and I didn't even occur to me to like test the hint system.
Yeah.
Because it had always worked before. So like people like they're trying to figure out how to get out of the alley. They ask him for a hint, and he says, "What did you do before?" And the testers are like, "I don't know."
Man.
I'm just, oh my God, you could just go through, it's this one stupid thing you just don't think about.
Sure.
And it kicking myself, but
I had somebody. Speaking of comments that stick out, the negative ones are always the ones that are in my head. None of the positive ones. Someone commented on my YouTube. I did a YouTube video about how the demo launch went, and I said it started rough, but it ended up amazing, and it's actually doing incredible right now. And one of the comments, somebody said, I don't want to put them on blast, but what they said was something like Thomas is so full of it, or he's so wrong. He doesn't even know how to release a game with proper controls. Shouldn't you have figured this out during the QA phase? And I'm sitting there going, if you've released a game, you know exactly what it's like to release it, and one bug everybody finds, and it's the one that you couldn't find.
Yeah. I always say if none of the testers find it, it'll be like a prominent. It'd be the first journalist to play it. We'll find it. The first like reviewer will find that bug.
Yep.
And if not, it's always like going to be a really like prominent voice.
Yeah.
I think Rihanna Pratchett, of all people, who I adore and admire, she's great. She found like the game bugged out on her, Unavowed bugged out on her, and the opening menu, and I'm like, of all people, I'm so sorry. I know exactly why it happened, but it's just, it just happens. And it's like you, at that point, but people, like I often hear like, oh, like I'm free to express my opinion on stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're free to express your opinion, but I'm also free not to engage. It's like, I think this happened with Ron Gilbert when he announced the return of Monkey Island. No relation, by the way.
I was going to ask.
Nope. And a lot of people were really like just laying into the art style, and he disabled comments on his own website, and I do not blame him one bit.
Yep.
Because it's like he doesn't have to engage with that. I don't think people realize it's like, even if it's a well-meaning bit of feedback, it could be innocuous. Like there was like when you're deep in the trenches, when you're stressed out, right? Making a game is hard.
It's so stressful, dude.
It's like anything. Like people could comment on a misplaced apostrophe, and it sounds like a personal attack. Like there was someone, I think, who was like he criticized the font. Something so stupid, and I had like this angry response ready to go, and I'm like, no, like whatever, he can criticize the font, whatever, like it's just no big deal. I'm just gonna let this go. Like it's easy to say get a thick skin, but that doesn't mean it's impervious. You need to take like measures to protect your own mental health, and often that just means do not engage.
I totally agree, man. It's I have a public facing thick skin, where I can just say, well, thank you for playing, thanks for the review, I love you. And I'll do like a little heart emoji. But when I go to bed and I'm staring at the fan at the ceiling, I'm like, I'm just pissed off. How could you critique my baby? I've been working on this thing for 3 years, and you're mad about the textures.
What about the characters and the writing and the plots and the puzzles?
I know.
You're freaking talking about like this. Come on, like what else do you like? Yeah, no, exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you want to know like if the writing is reaching people, if it's like resonating with people, and they're focused on like the character walking a little slow or something like that. And it's like, oh, come on, what about the rest of it?
I know, but thank God for
you can't blame them. You can't blame them.
I know, and thank God for the Steam review system, because I think it's pretty solid. Like, even though you get some real nasty comments, you can just, all I look at is it very positive? Is it overwhelmingly positive? And that's all I care about. For me,
some people read every single review.
No, I don't touch it, dude. I
like seeing the number go up, and that's it. I see that number go up, and I'm happy.
I'll look at the original reviews, like for the demo, and I noticed there's 2 ways to launch a demo on Steam. that people should be aware of. There's the way you did it and also the way that David Whaley did it. I don't know if you know David Whaley. He made a game called We Harvest Shadows. The way that you guys have launched your demos is it's attached to the main application and there's no sub page.
Oh, I see. So it's that people can leave reviews.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I say it like that, I say it in that voice because it's terrifying, because I released my demo last week with a secondary child page, and there's reviews on the demo, public-facing reviews, and I didn't know this.
Oh.
And so I launched the demo last week, and I can show you how to do it if you want to do it. I don't know if you want to do it.
I probably don't. I probably don't, to be honest.
But anyway,
because it's like, then you have to encourage them to write a review a second time when the game launches.
Yeah. So anyway, for me, I launched my demo, and I started getting reviews, and I didn't expect to get reviews. And it was at 90%. And then it went down to 83% in an hour. And I was like, oh no, please God. And so I went to bed that night stressed because the velocity of the review, or the ratings of the reviews were going like this. And so I took a couple shots of vodka, went to sleep, and I woke up and I prayed to the Lord. I said, please God. And I opened up Steam, and I looked at the reviews, and it was 94% positive.
Nice.
And it was, and people were playing it. So now it's like almost at 500 reviews.
Yeah, wow. It's almost at 500.
It's
I just
doing
checked.
good. Yeah, it's doing
445. Great. Awesome.
And today we had 2 mega streamers play it. I can't remember their names. They're big though. They got like 4 million subscribers. So it's going really well, but I bring all that up because I didn't know that launching a demo was supposed to be as anxiety-inducing as a standard launch.
Wow, so like you said, you've been working on it for 3 years, right?
I know.
When I released the Old Skies demo, I released another demo in 2022. So I'd been working on it for about 2 years at that point. But it was a different section of the game, and it's the first time, for a long time, demos were like out. So I never bothered doing demos, but then suddenly Steam Next Fest is a thing and everyone's doing demos, and it's like, all right, I guess I'll join Next Fest and do this demo. Because it's like launching it, because suddenly your work is out there. And that's like, there's something very vulnerable about, this is why a lot of art and creative projects never get finished, is because people are scared. It's like, it's not perfect yet. It's got to be perfect. And they'll let perfect be the enemy of done.
Exactly.
And they need that stress of actually being vulnerable. It's something very scary about that. It's terrifying. Yeah. And I'm still not used to it, especially now that this game has taken so long. It just feels like there's just more of my soul ready to be critiqued. And it's not the best feeling, but at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
Like when it works out, it's thus far my instincts have been more good than bad, and I'm forever grateful. I'm just happy that people resonate with my work, that it means something to them, and they continue to come back. It means the world.
Oh, and really quickly, by the way, this video is sponsored by myself. I sponsor my own videos sometimes. It's sponsored by Full Time Game Dev. If making indie games full time is a dream of yours in 2025, I can teach you what I've done. I've signed 3 publishing deals for my commercial indie games, along with getting funded multiple times on Kickstarter. I've also hit the Steam front page multiple times, so I want to show you how I've done this and ultimately make games in Unity, Godot, Unreal, 2D or 3D. You can honestly take your pick in the course. You'll also learn how to market your game so it brings in actual money, and so much more. For the next 7 days, Full Time Game Dev is 40% off for the massive spring sale. And this only happens once a year. This is a big one. Join 4,500 students worldwide, and I'll also throw in my 2D and 3D art programs completely free, but only for this sale event. And also, there's only 100 seats available. These will sell out, so be sure to check it out below if you're interested.